This is Debs from Lucy's Library, and I'm coming to you with The Bark of the Bog Owl by Jonathan Rogers. And this is a fictional tale about David. The storyline is clearly David's story, but the gaps are filled in with, well, it's all completely fiction because it's not about David. It's about a kid named Aidan who lives on an island called Corenwald. And it's clearly his story. So I want to read to you a bit of the part that does not sound like the story from the Bible and a bit that you'll recognize. So this is just part of chapter 3. The monster was a boy. He was unlike any boy Aidan had ever seen, but he was a boy nevertheless. He didn't have a many-pointed skull. That was a helmet made from the shell of a snapping turtle. He wore a tunic made from whole alligator hide that explained the scales in the tail. His tunic was cinched at the waist with a cottonmouth snake held fast with its own fangs rather than a belt buckle. From his waist dangled a side pouch fastened from the wedge-shaped head of an alligator garfish. Aidan rose to his feet. The wild boy was a head shorter than Aidan and skinnier too. Not puny, but a wiry, tough sort of skinny. His skin was a grayish-brown, though Aidan couldn't tell if his skin was actually that color or only coated with river mud. The boy's face was pinched and fierce, and his eyes stared wild and unblinking beneath a single long eyebrow. Aidan had never seen such a person, but he thought he knew what he was. He was one of the Fiji folk. Aidan's grandfather had told him many tales of this wild, nomadic tribe that traveled up and down Corenwald's many rivers and swamps. These creatures were equally comfortable in the water or in the treetops and were rarely seen by civilizers, as they called the Corenwalders. According to Aidan's grandfather, Fiji's had an uncanny, almost magical ability to disappear into the forest or under the water anytime settlers were nearby. He had described their fierce warlike spirit, but also their unquenchable jollity. But then again, grandfather had often invented wild tales to entertain his grandchildren. So, those are some characters that you get to see throughout the story. Now I'm going to skip ahead to the night before Aidan goes up against the giant. He's already said that he would. People have said he's nuts. And the Samuel character is Bayard, and Bayard has 2 goats that go everywhere with him. The goat sniffed around the tent looking for something to eat, while Aidan and Bayard looked at one another, neither saying a word. Bayard saw things other people couldn't see. Did he know the cowardly thoughts that Aidan had just been entertaining? At last Aidan spoke, unable to stand the silence any longer. Bayard, am I being a fool? Bayard beamed a kindly smile on the boy. Son of Errol, there are many kinds of fool. Do not ask, am I being a fool? Ask, am I being the right sort of fool? Aidan shook his head. The old man could never give a straight answer. How did I get into this mess? Asked Aidan. I just came to deliver some bread and cheese to my brothers. I know you cannot see it now, answered Bayard. Not yet, but this mess is the whole reason you are here. You only thought you were here to deliver bread and cheese. How about you, Bayard? Why are you here? You might say I've come out of retirement. Never has a king needed a truth speaker at his side more than Darrow needs one now. Aidan sniffed. A lot of good it's done him. A truth speaker can only do so much, young Arrowson. Darrow has heard the truth. That is why I am here. Tomorrow he will see the truth. That is why you are here. Bayard snapped his fingers, and his goats hopped over to stand beside him. Greidawl, the giant, is a monster. You are right to fear him. Only love goodness more than you fear evil. Bayard chuckled to himself and shook his head. He thought he was here to deliver bread and cheese, he told the billy goat. Then he spoke to Aidan. Live the life that unfolds before you. The one God is with you. He turned toward the door. I have some people to see. I won't be here for tomorrow's battle. He nudged his goats out into the evening. Then, just before ducking through the flap, he turned back to Aidan. Have you decided yet? Aidan looked at the old man confused. Decided what? Whether I'm a prophet or a madman. It's a fun adventure. There are almost no females in it. This is a great one for the boys, but it's so much fun. The girls will love it too. And there is no female with a major part. It's just all boys, all testosterone, all wild fun.